Guys, it's me, Dylan Dungeon Master, and today we're going to be taking a look in defense of transit. Now, you're probably wondering, if you're not in the zombies loop, why am I talking about a 2 to 6 year old map? Well, it's come to my attention that... Am I Takoyo? Takoyo. Oh no, I'm Nikolai. No power, just like home. The simple fact is, many people hate transit, and I want to dive into the reasons why. They say transit's a really bad map. Now, the things I've found come from a couple reasons. One, the main crew's gone. People like the main crew. It's Takoyo, Dempsey, Nikolai, and Richtofen. Those are the three that people love. That's the three people want to see return. But the thing is, due to the storyline, they're kind of written into themselves into a corner. After you destroy the Earth, what more can you do? After you blow it up with missiles, what happens? So, the ending of Moon cutscene, they teleport back, worlds in ruins, and that's all we knew. Many people speculated they went here, there, or they're teleported back forward in time, or something like that. But no one knew for sure where they were. We learn in Black Ops 4, finally, that they were teleported to the Pentagon just a few days before the outbreak at 5. Meaning that they did survive, with the exception of Richtofen being comatose because Samantha had left his body. That's all we knew. And now that we know that, it makes a little bit more sense. Okay, they were held by the governments of the world for a little bit, or the U.S. government, and we're going to be used as testing monkeys, but I digress. That doesn't make the 6 years we had to wait for that answer any shorter. I am going to move down. Stop windmilling. Many people didn't like Transit because it wasn't a classic map. It didn't feel like Noct. It didn't feel like Kino. It didn't feel like many of the wonderful maps we had back then. Everyone just didn't like it because it didn't feel the same. But the thing is, with each and every map, you run into this like riding corner. It's called power creep in card games. You have to do the best. You have to be better. You have to keep pushing the envelope until, what are you going to do next? How are you going to make this bigger? How are you going to make this better? How are you going to make there a challenge? How are you going to explain this in the storyline? Why are the people here? What are they doing? Why are they doing it? Reasons. Oh, yes. Just what I needed. Okay. Anywho. The second thing is, there's a couple map elements that they didn't like, such as the denizens, the bus, the lava, town itself, etc., etc. Now, these things were mostly implemented as kind of like a hindrance, I want to say. Yeah, that's the best term for it, a hindrance. Because if you ran... Black Ops 1 was running on old consoles at first. If you ran from one side of the map to the other, it most likely would crash, due to the strengths of the consoles and the limitations of said consoles at the time. What did that mean? Well, it means basically the map couldn't render, and basically the Xbox 360 could not render the map in, and it caused all kind of chaos, and it was just bad. It's just very bad. Now that I kind of say that, you can kind of see, well, those things were necessary. Those things were needed. It just wasn't a mindless waste. In Fog, they could use low textures. Was that lazy? No, it's just they couldn't. It's always a last fight for that memory, because they're always pushing an envelope because they have to do more. If we step back to Noct, Knocked was bare bones as you can get. There's no pack-a-punch, no perks, no nothing. It was just zombies, gun, and some wonder weapons. That's it. That's all you got. No perks, no nothing. And then you had perks. And then you had wonder weapons. And then you had stuff like that started becoming more and more. And then you got to get more and more to be more and more. And so with us, they started introducing buildables. You got to push the envelope. You got to keep people entertained. The fall of Transit was partly the community's fault, because with everything, you got to keep it fresh, keep it moving, keep the ball rolling, keep going, keep getting better, keep, it's the next best thing. Why are people going to be excited for this? Oh, well, there's a huge open map that sounds amazing that has Easter eggs galore and everything else. That's another thing people chastise Transit for. The Easter egg made no sense. Well, why did it make no sense? Oh, simple fact is we have no idea what to do or how to do it, or if you could do it, or this and that, and it's just we had a data mine for the steps. I'm like, what is new? What Easter egg does make sense? The part where you throw the monkey bomb in the furnace and die rise, the part where you are doing these things with no clear explanation and or why on any map ever? Yeah, okay. The simple fact is Transit is not as bad as everyone gives it. It's not as bad. It's not that bad. I enjoyed Transit, and that's the last thing I've kind of found. OG fans don't like Transit. Well, why? Because they've invested all this time in these maps. They're OG fans, and Transit didn't really cater to that. It catered to the casuals. Me being a casual who only really plays Kino and a little bit of Transit and some Origins, it didn't really cater to the veterans. It didn't cater to the big boys who wanted to get to higher rounds. It didn't cater to them. It catered more to the casual player. That's okay. It's okay. That's why I think I like it. A bunch of other people liked it. Well, that's kind of been my views on this. Dylan Dungeon Master signing off.